Well, welcome everyone to HueFin News. Today is February the 16th, 2019, the home of the 2-minute price prediction, as well as giving you all the news according to the charts. We're going to talk about Canopy growth, and is it the time to buy the price high and then sell at a higher price? I know that goes against the proverbial notion that you want to buy low and sell high. Well, considering the fact that the cannabis industry is a relatively new space and there is a lot of excitement and euphoria going on in this new sector, that it seems as if that is a possible thing that can happen. So we're going to talk about this article here on the left side of my screen, which was founded and posted to the internet yesterday. And then we're going to look at the price chart to make sure if it actually correlates with what this article is trying to insinuate, and as well as tell you some other things that we notice on this article. Now, if this is your first time coming to this particular channel, make sure that you all go ahead and subscribe, like, and share, because we are giving you all the news according to the charts, the uncomplicated way. And we're not here to waste any of your time. You just literally want to know what the price is going to do for these particular instruments, and then you can go on about your business. So let's go ahead and get started right now in this article that was posted to the NASDAQ. The title of it reads, Canopy growth stock has great potential, buy high and sell even higher. Okay, so that's a very good thing to talk about, which we're going to go ahead and do today. Now, I went ahead and highlighted some of the things in this article that I feel as if is very important to tell you all about. And in fact, I will leave you all a link of this article in the description of our video in case you all want to continue to go back and read it for yourselves. Now, Canopy Growth, which is the largest Canadian company of its kind, took center stage when Constellation Brands, ticker symbol STZ, invested $4 billion in it. This goes on to tell you that a lot of these other Fortune 500 companies or major companies are looking for viable options to get their foot into the space. So when Constellation Brands came in and did an investment with Canopy Growth, it continues to show you that this industry is in its infancy stage and it has a greater potential to have the ability to balloon higher in price. This further legitimized the pot potential after an increase in the legalization trend. Now, this is the thing that this article is going to harp on, the legalization of marijuana and cannabis throughout the world. Okay, Canada seems as if they're trying to take the lead from this standpoint, but then sooner or later more doors will open up that will allow canopy to be sold, or cannabis to be sold, in many other places. Now, companies like Coke has not actually made any partnership deals or any investments in any cannabis companies, but they have been in pursuit of it. Okay, so they're definitely looking in this particular sector to try to find out which company will be a great partner or something to invest in, so that they can too reap some of the benefits that is expected to come from this cannabis craze. Now, looking here, companies like Tilray and Cronos are perhaps two of the most expensive valuation that this author has seen. Tilray has a market cap of $7 billion on only $20 million of revenues. Cronos has $3.9 billion market cap on only $3 million in revenue. That is astronomical. This section right here literally tells you that the market for the cannabis industry is in a bubble. Okay, for you to have these companies to be this expensive and they are not even making close to the capitalization of the revenues tells you that a lot of people are expecting this industry to be profitable in the long term. From that perspective, the author goes ahead and writes, Canopy Growth stock is not that much cheaper, except this one has a fortress balance sheet thanks to the Constellation brand investment, the $4 billion that they invested in Canopy Growth. Whatever the potential opportunities they may see, they have the money to pursue them the proper way. Growth becomes attainable and that is good reason to pay up for the stock now, unlike with some of the other valuations that this author brought to this article. This article is not about the short term. He is literally writing this article about the long term. And when you look at the earnings that Canopy Growth had, they released their earnings yesterday. It goes on to state that they had pretty good metrics. It was great on what they delivered for the third quarter. They sold 10,100 kilograms of cannabis, which is an 360% increase from the prior quarter. And they only expect that to ramp up as more and more countries, cities, municipalities, governments begin to legalize the recreational use, even the medicinal purposes of cannabis. So that trend is going to have a very significant impact on how much product Canopy Growth can produce, which is true. The sky's the limit. Since this is very new territory, this potential has attracted mainstream large cap companies like Constellation Brands, but others like Coke have been looking as well, so they have yet to scratch the surface. Doubters of the sector should be careful here. Shorting a broad bullish thesis could bring financial ruin to staunch bears. Now, this is why I want to bring in this particular thought. Up here in this previous paragraph where he stated that these companies are extremely expensive according to the valuations, right? So it looks as if the company should not be trading as high as they are trading on these exchanges. It has to go with the fact that many people do not want to miss this next move in this brand new industry. So they're just literally piling money in order to see some profit into the space. This is what he is trying to insinuate here. Doubters of the sector should be careful here. Shorting a broad bullish thesis. See, this is a thought. What is going on in the cannabis industry is simply a thought. It is an expectation that the market overall will continue to shoot higher, will continue to move higher, and the sky's the limit, without any factual basis being dispelled in the market. Because already in this article, he has stated that the valuation of Tilray and Cronos, even Canopy Growth, are expensive. They should not even be trading above that price that they're trading at now. So this hope, this wish that this new industry is going to bring in multi-trillion-dollar in profits, many people are just trying to grab a seat before the train takes off. This is where we all need to be careful. With the legalization trend being so young, there will be exponential growth, which is true, from the direct to consumer sales through retail and online segments. And as more regions amend their laws to accept it, cannabis will expand its current product lines, but also add more of the same. Now, this is where this article does not talk or speak to. And it is the fact that, yes, more regions will amend their laws to accept cannabis, which will entail increase the competition. More people will begin to create businesses that is going to compete with some of these formidable companies that's already established, like Canopy Growth, Tilray, Cronos, and Aroy Cannabis. That is not mentioned in this article. So this is going to be a very dynamic atmosphere in this cannabis industry going forward, especially once they start to amend the laws to accept cannabis. So just be prepared for that there's going to be a lot of shakeups, a lot of market action and volatility in this particular sector until we actually get to see who's going to be the formidable, strongest company in this space. The bottom line is that Canopy Growth stock should have no limit for as long as the stock market is rising. See, he gives us a condition. The bottom line, Canopy Growth will continue to move higher. There's no limit to how high it can trade. as long as the stock market is rising. Okay, now if you guys are avid watchers of the financial markets, even the global financial markets, you already know that there have been telltale signs of some growth slowing expected in 2019. We have the Italian debt that has not been dealt with. We have the Brexit. We have the Chinese tariffs that the American government is trying to place on China. We have the Fed slowing down or being patient on raising interest rates. Even they know that the market, the global economic system, is showing some decreasing growth prospects. So as long as the stock market is rising, Canopy Growth should not have a problem. Well, we have those things that I just mentioned that it will have to overcome in order for this sentence to stand correct. So just keep that in mind too. Now he goes on to say that Canopy Growth has been behaving somewhat to where technical analysis can be a great benefit. It is now 85% higher than it was on Christmas, and it is trading inside a very tight range. This builds up pent up energy that will need to be resolved. This usually happens in a breakout or breakdown from significant levels. See, this is another condition that he's trying to throw in and say, well, I didn't tell you that it couldn't break down. But the article starts out as stating Canopy Growth stock has great potential, buy high and sell higher. But then he goes on to state that this usually happens in a breakout or breakdown from significant levels. If Canopy Growth stock loses $41.60, it could retest $35 price zone. Conversely, and if the bulls can break it to the upside, $48, then $52 can be the next area that he will be expecting Canopy Growth to go. They can invite enough momentum buyers to mount a $12 rally from here. In fact, Canopy Growth already may be in a breakout pattern with a measured move to $60 per share. So when we look at the price chart, we're going to go ahead and pay attention to see whether or not Canopy Growth is really already established in a breakout move. Okay, I will make an exception and get long, meaning long means to buy Canopy Growth early because it is a fast mover. But I would put a tight stop below that $41.60 price. I could do this by using options, but even if I could buy the stock outright, I would consider selling cover calls, which are options too, to mitigate his risk. Long term, this stock could be a massive home run. We just cannot quantify it yet, and that is exciting and totally worth the risk. So he seems as if he is all in on this stock. The thing is, we need to make sure that the price chart is all in on this stock too, making this move to the upside. Now, the last time we did our video for Canopy Growth was on January 9, 2019 with the title Time to Buy Tilray and Canopy Growth. And in that video, we did say that the market in Canopy Growth was insinuating its ability to move higher, but we was not expecting it to move as high as it did. We were just expecting it to literally hit that $36 price and then expect some weakness to come into the space and try to push this stock lower. But as you can tell, the market continued to shoot all the way up there to that $56 price. Okay, now that continued to show you that the market is readily finding resistance at that area, and that's what we need to pay attention to as we go forward in our price analysis. So let's go ahead and pay attention to what the market is telling us. So taking a look at Canopy Growth on the daily price chart, okay, you can see here that the earnings came in on the 14th of February, and all this volume did come into this particular space. We did our video here on the 9th of January, and we were expecting the market to continue to move higher and set around that $36 price, $37.50 will be areas of resistance, in which we did get some stockpile coming in the market on this particular day, and we continue to show us the euphoria of higher prices. Okay, but now the question is, have we reached the top in the market for Canopy growth? Now, taking a look at Canopy growth on the weekly chart, you can see here that yes, stockpile did definitely come into the market. I am expecting the market to more or less, it seems as if it's trying to hold that consolidational range, $44 as support, maybe around that $45 as support, and at $52 as resistance right now. Okay, but we did see some weakness come in the last 2 weeks, so we have to keep in mind that the market in Canopy growth is not as bullish as this article tries to insinuate. I do see some sideways consolidation going on into next week. I would be expecting that to happen starting out in the weekend. That's the opportunity for us all to pay attention to see whether or not we're going to get some strength in the market. You can see here that all this volume from the 15th of February definitely has to be taken note of. Okay, we have to see how the market trades on Monday, or I'm sorry, on Tuesday. I'm not sure if the stock market trades on Monday, considering it's President's Day here in the United States. But the next day that the stock market is open, we need to pay attention to see how the market trades given this amount of volume from the 15th of February. Okay, we have not seen this much volume since the 15th of January, and you can tell how the market simply maintained its ability to not fall. If that occurs the next day that the market is open, then it tells us that the strength is still being maintained in Canopy growth, and that stock will continue to move to the upside. Okay, so right now my analysis would just have to be to see how this market trades and to hold this consolidational range. I will say around $46, $45 for support, and the resistance area is currently around $50. Okay, I do acknowledge the fact that the volume did come in on the 15th of February. I want to see how it plays out, because if we're able to hold support above that $46, $45 price area as support, then the strength is definitely still being maintained. But until we're able to see how it plays out, I'm just expecting more or less consolidation. This is just one of those opportunities where I would just sit back and see how the market plays itself, and then go ahead and tell you a directional move on what I expect the market to do. I don't see it really showing us any strength right now, but like I said, let me let it play out, and I'll come back in with another video to see what I expect the market to do. So currently, considering that we have such a very strong bullish move, we still came in at some resistance around $50. We got a lot of volume here on the 15th of February. The market still shows a little bit more ability to move to the downside, but like I stated, I'm not really seeing it being a severe movement to the downside, but anything goes with the volatility of this new space. So if I had to make a choice today, I would have to say that Canopy growth is expected to move lower, but my analysis is not expecting it to move that low right now. I'm still expecting it to at least trade above $45. But again, it might not pan out that way, considering the fact that all this volume came in. We can move a lot lower than that. So that would be my analysis for the current time. It can change depending on how the market trades when we first open up on next week. Okay, so that's our analysis. That's what we expect the market to do starting next week. Concerning this article, I don't expect buy high and sell higher right now. I definitely see some resistance coming in around the $50 price to time the market, as he is just trying to stay, just get in and expect a long-term move to occur. That is true, but as long as you're able to park your money there for a long period of time, then there should be no problems with that. But again, if you're trying to let your money work for you, then you want to try to time the market as best as you can. And right now, the price chart is not insinuated to buy high and sell higher right now. Okay, so the price chart is not in correlation with what this article is reading. It definitely it seems as if it is going to take some time before the market tries to recoup to higher prices as of this moment. So again, just wait and see how the market trades next week, and then we should get a better depiction on whether or not you should buy high and sell higher. Until then, we do appreciate you all taking out the opportunity out to watch our video. Make sure you all maintain your profitability, and I will talk to you all later.